Good morning.
Morning.
It's a beautiful day here in sunny central Illinois.
The first one we've had in a week.
Yes, it has.
Rain for like 4 days straight.
We are moving to another site.
Yeah, we only get 14 days at a site and then we got to move, so.
Yeah, it's similar to like a lot of the other like BLM camping, but this we have to pay for.
And we've spent like a whole week up here at the top edge and there's not a soul up here.
But it is time to get moving. And as part of moving, we have the moving and water and dumping and all that fun stuff.
Oh yeah, we'll take you along, but we also got our truck back.
Yay!
Yeah, we got the...
It'll be kind of hard to do with that little Challenger.
I think the camper weighs almost as much as it does, if not more.
Possibly.
So, yeah, so the truck is back. Bertha's ready to haul the camper again, so we should be good to go. We got to give it a test anyway. We got to make sure it doesn't have any issues, so...
That's why it's good to be here for another couple of weeks to make sure it runs through its stuff. All right, let's get going.
All right.
All right, I think everything is pretty much cleaned up in here. The problem with living in a truck camper or regular camper full-time is when you're working on projects, there's really no place to put that stuff. Unfortunately, our bed gets the brunt of it. This backpack has my laptop. That's going to be for Salvation Army. I have been working on fixing some of my clothes, so I borrowed the sewing machine and all of the bits and bobs from my daughter, and oh yeah, we got a mess, but it'll get clean as soon as the projects are done. Sometimes you have to be in mess for a little while before it gets better. Look at this, and again, love this thing. Sure everything is good there. Oh, I forgot. Oopsie. There we go. It is bright outside. Yeah, our batteries just died. Luckily, they provide you a emergency one that has just a cord. But, you know, what?
I got a problem.
What? The emergency jack remote is a great tool to have in your toolbox, just not in our toolbox. Since we rarely use it, Gary did a phenomenal job of burying that spare remote deep in the bowels of our truck toolbox. Maybe we need to come up with a better location. Or, better yet, maybe replace those batteries yearly. We were lucky we still had the camper high enough so we could move the truck back to access the side storage. The annoying part about those, the black ones, is that the batteries are... They're replaceable batteries, not a problem there, but lots of screws, and you don't find out until about now, so you're kind of taking everything apart to get to a screwdriver and the batteries and everything, so hopefully this will work as soon as I can get my hands into this adjustable tie strap. So one of the cool things on our truck bed is the fact that we have these guides, which are really great to make sure that we're on the right area. We ended up replacing these when we were over at Sharp Tech, but unfortunately we chowdered up the front ones again, mainly because we added these stable camper ones. These are new as well, since we had this whole front place replaced. And we didn't take into consideration this sharp edge. So again, that was the main reason why those were chowdered in the first place. So yeah. But we had to, that was not actually why we stopped. We had to stop because that one Gary just fixed. It was cockeyed. So we are going to have even more challenges. So now we're done. Try again.
Oh, looking good. I'm going to have you do flight driver. Okay, let's just stop there. Let me lower it a bit. Tap. 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 Okay, that's good. Hold it there.
Bottom one is just a little pain. Oh, my pumpkin! And a screw. We are in a campground that does not have any water when we go to dump, so we have to do things a little bit differently in order to make sure that our black tank and honestly our gray tank gets dumped and flushed properly. After Gary's done the initial dumping of the black tank, Gary will grab a bucket of the gray water. So it's not a lot of fun, but it's kind of necessary when you're camping without a lot of water here. And I'll do this maybe 2, 3, 4 times depending on what's going on, and then he will dump it again. I will inspect it, look down in there and make sure that things are clean. If not, we'll continue that process. That's pretty clean. And that works pretty well for the black tank. That works great. We have had problems with the gray tank kind of getting mucked up, so we try to do something similar, but not with the gray water. We will put fresh water down the gray tank after it's been dumped. Right, since we had electricity, our water was hot, so I put basically all of the hot water that we had in our tank into the gray tank, and then we'll flush that again. That's the way we try to flush when we're at a dump station that doesn't have water. Since I had to get out the slides anyway, and I'm waiting for Gary to finish up, I'm going to go ahead and put in our chemicals for our toilet and our gray water. Everything good?
Yep.
Okay, you ready to go?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to finish and I will be with you in a minute. So we have been using this RV Digest It stuff. I think that's actually been pretty good. I have found that it's better than the Happy Camper stuff, but again, that's just a preference. But I will put about 2 ounces, and I got these cute little cups at Walmart that we use just for this, and kind of put it in both tanks. I'm going to put it in the black tank now. I'll put it in the gray tank when we do our first load of dishes or something like that. when we put that RV Digest-It, we do want to have about a gallon of water in there. So we do add some in there. We may not do a whole gallon. We do about 10 or 12 seconds on the pump, and that's about what we do. And it's also that time of the year where we have to start blowing out our water hoses after filling our fresh tank. This helps reduce the chance of our hoses from freezing.
Go up just a little bit.
All right, tell us about this jack that you have down here.
So we put the jack under there because this side right here is pushing away a little bit. And what I don't want to do is push too much and break the pylon. And we also have a little bit of separation inside. So we got a little bit of movement here. So to fix this, I needed to be on my other stands, not on this stand. I got some wooden stands, so we'll do that in North Carolina. So as a stopgap, we put the stand underneath there just to take some of the pressure off of this. We still got some pressure on it.
See, you can't see, there's a very little bubble now, but when it's off, when we don't have that jack, it bubbled out quite a bit. And you can tell that it actually has ripped a little bit of that off. Just to say
it's moved. So what we're trying to do is just preserve it, and then what I'll do is get down to North Carolina and fix it. Fortunately, Dan and Pat gave me some good information and some knowledge about this area, so we're going to see if we can fix it when we get down there. Well, here we are once again. Yeah, we parked in our favorite spot here in Illinois, and we're going to probably be here for a couple months, so yeah, I thought I'd knock out a couple projects that have been annoying.
A couple of months? It's like 1 month.
Okay, according to the boss, it's 1 month. 6 weeks, whatever it is. So I thought it was a nice day today. I needed to take all this stuff out of our storage area and do some wiring, because, yeah, my diesel heater, it worked well on the power, but as soon as the wife decided to work on videos on her mega laptop,
shall we play a game?
Nothing wanted to work. It had too much voltage draw on the system for her computer and the furnace and the refrigerator and all sorts of stuff. So it didn't like all that. So what I did was took the diesel heater off of the main harness system. So we ended up not using the fuse block here anymore. And then I just wired it in direct to the batteries. You got to route the wiring harnesses through there because this is a slide. So you got to route all the wiring harnesses through here. And what I typically do is just follow a harness that host put in. So with that routing, you'll see I come up in here. The Planar group gives you a harness, a power harness. I elected to initially not use it. I just used the coach wiring, but the voltage drop was way too high. So I wired it directly to the batteries, and then I've just come up in here and wired their harness right into this plug right here. Their harness is supplied with the planar heater. I'll show you where I put the wires in from the diesel heater so you can kind of see where they went. My fuse block, or my distribution block, is getting pretty full. So eventually here I'm going to probably do another video on reorganizing all of the stuff I have. I'll show you what it looks like. Alright. So underneath here, while we're on the tray, you'll see the host wire bundle here. And then this is where I ran. There's a little, it's hard to show you, but there's a little conduit hole there. I'll call it that, ductwork, that feeds the wires to that other hole underneath the slide out. So this is doing that here as well. So you can kind of see the fuses for the heater. I just mounted them to the top wall. This whole mess here, I'm hoping that one day I'll be able to get this cleaned up a little bit. I'm not real pleased with this, so we're going to be doing this here shortly here. But for right now, in the park where we're at, I can't do that. I'm going to wait till I have a place I can work on it in case it takes me longer than a day. But all I did then was ran the red and the black cable from this fuse block, so they have both the negative and the positive fused. And I ran those wires, one to the negative block and then one to the main block here, to the positive block. So that's kind of where we're at. So everything is fused on there, so it should be good to go. So just to kind of give you an idea what it looks like underneath here where I wired it. So obviously a little bit messy, but we'll get it cleaned up. Now I'm coming directly off the battery, so we'll see a little bit less battery drop, battery voltage drop. So that's the wiring inside the storage unit for that. Alright, so hopefully you can see it. I'm going to quick turn it on. So now you can see we're not getting, so before we were getting a voltage drop down to 9 volts when this thing turned on. So you can kind of see it's ramping up right now. So we got about a volt drop down to, before it used to get down to 9 volts. And now it's just going down to about 11 volts. Once it's doing the ignition portion and all that stuff on the heater, it comes right back up and stays there now. As you can see now, the fan is starting to ramp up, so it's pulling down a volt. I think that's a success, because I was getting a 3 volt drop, 4 volt drop before. When her computer was on, everything was on, it would ramp up and it would cut out because of low voltage. We were going down to 9.2, 9.1 for voltage. And that's no bueno for that heater, so it would give us a low voltage warning and then cut off. So I think we got that fixed.
This can give you at least a little idea of the sound of that. That's the exhaust from the new diesel heater. The one thing that we've been hearing more is the pump. So you can hear a little bit of that inside. It's kind of light though. I think it's definitely a lot quieter than the Dominic. On the inside and outside. When Gary and I do pancakes in the morning, we tag team a bit. I'll make the batter, and Gary cooks.
I stink at batter, so yeah. I can do the pancakes on the grill.
They're so beautiful.
Yes.
Come on.
Time to eat.
Yes, it is. Thanks for stopping by, and we hope to see you here next week when we try not to break more stuff. Until then, leave every place you visit just a little better, and we'll see you on the next trail.